Good day. Hey, this is David. You see my picture on the left side of the slide, and you also see on the right side it say your advocate David Richardson. Give you my phone number. And yeah, my email is money is my plan B, but I want you to know I'm not gonna get into that. But I consider God to be my plan A. Money is my plan B, and I have several different kinds of plans. Everything I work on is a plan, since God is my plan A. Now, on the left side of my picture, you see we're an independent W.T.A business building tax deductible estate planning software advocate. That's one of the hats that we wear with W.T.A. W.T.A is a conglomerate of different kinds of businesses, and the income is tremendous. You see right over about us and our products and our career and how you contact us and log in. We have something that we are a peak and pass pay estate planning company. We have several different kinds of products that we have, and each one of the products is pretty much dependent on peak and pass. It's a concept of marketing, not selling, marketing. And it's marketing is marketing, and it's different from selling. On the screen, you see estate planning software. This is the software. I'm going to introduce you to an attorney that perfected this matter over 30 years ago, and the software is developed over 13 years ago, and he keeps affecting the software and increasing it every year so it will meet the accommodations of the citizens in the United States of America. It is truly amazing, and this gentleman I'm going to introduce you next is from Harvard University. Not to spend a lot of time, I just want you to see the credentials that he has and the mindset that God gave him to perfect this estate planning software. It is a software we're going to show you in this presentation, and this is a video. I want you to share this video with other people, and every time you share the video, it should be compensated a compensation for you. But now the gentleman I introduced you to, he has a partner also, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I have quite a long ways to go. I just want to introduce you to myself and Wealth Transfer Alliance. You'll see Wealth Transfer Alliance right up under my picture. That's the company that I represent, and it's a nationwide company taking on something that no one expected when it started, but it is a company that's fast growing, and many of the persons that are now involved can see the six-figure income that the company talked about when they launched a couple years ago. Now, let me go ahead and get started. This gentleman here, I'm going to introduce you to the person that's really behind everything, Adam Sputnik. He is the chief financial officer that introduced this matter to Wealth Transfer Alliance Technology over 12 years ago, going on 13 years now. But you can see all the credentials in the white up under this process to show you where he is, where he came from. He graduated from in the class with President Barack Obama, top of the class. And I just want you to know that this is something that you do not want to pass up. We're not asking you to do anything except what you saw on the first part of this is for you to become an independent business owner. Now, my background is in accounting. I graduated from the University of Arkansas with a degree in accounting and business administration. I went and studied for my master's in accounting, and I also set for quite a few hours in CPA review before I took the CPA exam. After taking that CPA exam, I went back and studied on the master's for management information systems since 1984. Excuse me, I do have that cough, but excuse me now in advance. 1984, I worked in the government prior to that time, and since 1984, I've worked my own business. And as an independent business owner, I can recommend to you that this is probably the best independent business that I have seen over the years that I have been involved in what I do. Now, income tax is my specialty. I started preparing income tax when I first got out of college, and I've been preparing income tax for over 50 years. I can tell you something about an independent business and how to operate. Now, let me put this in your picture right now. Regardless of what I say, you're going to believe what I say, I hope, and you get an understanding from your eyes. Everything I'm going to show you, you're going to see. I'm going to also be talking, and you're going to hear what I'm saying, but you've got to play the video back probably to remember everything I say. But by taking what you see and what I say in the video, it's going to give you an understanding. That's all you need in this to have is understanding. You don't need a whole lot of credentials here. This is about peak and pass, and I'm going to introduce you to that concept in just a minute. Peak and pass, and what peak and pass mean to you, and with regards to changing your life. You don't have to have a whole lot of education in this particular matter. Just get an understanding, and that's all you need here in order to prevail. Now I'm going to go on without spending a lot of time. I'm showing you this again to show you that the Diamond Review and Associates Incorporated, that's my company, is an independent wealth transfer alliance technology software business building advocate with Wealth Transfer Alliance. I'm showing you this a second time just to introduce you to myself now. This is about me. What I showed you earlier is about you and myself to show you that you can become whatever you choose to be with this company. And you don't have to have a whole lot of education, but I can tell you that all the top leaders of this company are well educated. The founder, president of Wealth Transfer Alliance, well educated man, 2 or 3 master's degrees, teaches at a college, set for studying on his doctorate, and his co-partner is also he's a coach, and he had 2 persons to get a gold medal at the last Olympics in Paris. We're not talking about just persons that are not have the background, they have it. But having the background, what I have, and comparing what I have and see in this company, one does not need a whole lot of education in order to have a, I mean, a very high 6-figure monthly, yearly income working through this company. I'm not going to make any promises because there's something that I cannot do, but what I can do is introduce you to what we do with regard to peak and pass. We call it peak, pass, and get paid. Peak, pass, and get paid. Look up the term peak if you don't know. Peak is to have the interest of someone else. You get the interest of someone else. If that person is interested in what we are doing, you simply pass that person on off to the Wealth Transfer Alliance and just sit back and relax and get paid month after month after month. That's the process. You're going to learn more about that as we go along. At the top, I have also various email addresses that I want you to go to, and I won't say email, I mean URLs that I would like for you to visit in order for you to get a better understanding. The more you see this, the more you hear of this, the better you're going to understand it. So W.T.A. PressPray.com is a video. W.T.A. Let's pray. Watch that video. It's going to give you an understanding. My probate video, that's going to give you an understanding of what we're talking about to get you off of probate. Now, one thing I want you to put this in your mind now is we go from this point on. This is about you not getting on probate. If you're on it, we'll hope for you to get off of probate because it's something that you're going to do. Now, listen, all this is about you and I. All persons on earth are going to die. But when you pass on and go to your next assignment that God has for you to have, you want to leave a legacy or your estate to your heirs here in the world. I am an elder person, and I have grandchildren. I have great grandchildren, and each one of my grandchildren and my great grandchildren are the ones that's going to acquire my legacy when I'm gone. And this is all about you. The concept is easy. Now, I am a tax accountant, and I'm going to explain to you how you get this started and how you're going to benefit from starting, and you get your understanding of peak, pass, and pay. Peak, pass, and pay. That's a simple process. Now, as we go through this, I want you to keep one thing in mind. This is an independent business offer. We have two kinds of way you can get associated with the Wealth Transfer Alliance. It's coming on as an affiliate or as an advocate, independent business person. I'm recommending independent business person because the pay is astronomically and you get paid 10 different ways. Yes, I did say that, 10 different ways. But now let's not get too excited about this. Let me go on. Now look, I use a tombstone here for a reason. I'm using a tombstone just to put it into your mind. You see at the top of the tombstone in the black and said, "Don't die without buying a wealth transfer alliance living, a revocable living trust." You want to you want to have a revocable living trust. We're showing you in this presentation how to become the trust yourself. You're the trust, and the trust doesn't own the deal is the trust owns everything, but you own nothing because we're going to convert you to a trust, show you how to convert yourself to a trust. And with being a trust, you're going to avoid probate. So you see, visit each URL that you see. You see the URL said getoffprobate.info. That's a video. You see down this under there, it says getoffprobate.net. That's another video showing you how to avoid probate. And when you see W.T.A enrollment form, that's to show you how to set up your independent business building concept, and it's a tax write-off. And we're going to talk about that. Let me tell you this now. Make sure you listen to what I'm saying now. Bank statements is your best friend. Your bank statements with Wealth Transfer Alliance is your best friend. To operate a successful independent business with Wealth Transfer Alliance, I'm recommending that you put bank statements at the top of the list. These days and time, you can go do digital banking. You can go to your bank and email you your bank statements every month. And at the end of the year, you have all of your business expenses in your hand on your bank statement. Why? Because the bank is your best friend, keeping a record of all the money that you put in the bank. And most often we put money in our banks and all the money that come out of our bank. And these days in time, we take money out of our bank most often with debit and credit cards as opposed to going to the bank and make a physical withdrawal. Notwithstanding the fact that we still do that. But what I'm putting up on the table now for you to know before we go too far in this presentation is to show you, to tell you that your best friend in operating a wealth transfer alliance technology software, estate planning concept, and all the other products that's offered is for you to maintain your bank statements. Because at the end of this presentation, I'm going to show you what your bank statements can do for you without anyone having any problem. Because when you get your statement every month, your statement is going to be your receipt. And all the receipts that you have is on your statement. And you physically going to write on your statement. You will have your own accounting concept on your bank statement, just to keep a record of what's on the bank statement, or tell me or whoever's will look at it what it is. To avoid probate in Maryland, and I'm using Maryland because I'm there, but to avoid probate in any state in the United States, you can use technology such as creating a revocable living trust, adding your beneficiaries to accounts like life insurance and retirement and funds and all different kind of retitling of assets like bank accounts, including your joint tendency and with rights of the survivorship or using transfer of death. All these data that you see here, make sure you stop this. You see I put it on a tombstone because if you do this before you get to tombstone, everything that you see in this presentation is now in your legacy in your revocable living trust for all of the persons you want the beneficiaries to become. Your wife, whosoever. I'm not going to start naming persons because the beneficiary does not have an agenda. It's whosoever your beneficiary is. So getting you started in this concept is to let your eyes and your ears give you the understanding, because that's how we get understanding. God said get wisdom and understanding, but of all giving, get understanding. So what I say, you hear, but what you see is going to convince what you hear to get an understanding of what we're talking about. W.T.A. enrollment form is how you set up your independent business building company. Or you can do the same thing with an advocate, but an advocate doesn't have the responsibilities or the income of affiliate does not have the income of an advocate. I'm an advocate. I can't give you any details about an affiliate because I've never operated with Wealth Transfer Alliance as an affiliate. I can only go by what I hear. Okay. Now, I have put a phone number down here to show you that you can go to Wealth Transfer Alliance. You can call, if you call the phone number, you're going to get my office because it's a Magic Jack number. And the Magic Jack number is a global number, but anywhere you call, it's going to get me or my answering service or my staff. But the phone number that you see is a call or visit 1-301-328-4186. You're going to see that throughout this process. But I'm telling you now, that's a website and it's also a phone number. Now, I'm moving on, but Kim, not taking up too much time. Now, Lord, watch this. Here is information about the creating a revocable living trust. Go through these data. Study it 1 through 5. Get an understanding of this before you start the process. The picture here, the picture is worth 1,000 words, they're saying, but each picture is showing you how and where and why you should set up a revocable living trust and not use a will, because your will take you to probate, and probate is a court that keeps your estate in their hand as long as they choose. And then your estate goes up in value, and the probate court system takes out a percentage, sometimes as high as 10 to 15% of the value of your estate. Now imagine you have an estate of, say, I don't know, $500,000, and they take 10% of that estate. You see how much money they pull out of your estate? Haven't done anything for it but to hold it, to hold it in their hand. And we're looking at now some of the salaries of the persons in the probate court are reaching now almost $300,000-400,000 a year doing nothing but holding your estate. And your estate is held in probate. These are some of the things that you can put into your estate. Okay, well, we're going to keep on showing you now, but what we're talking about in essence, or everything we're talking about, is to show you how to avoid the probate court. You see, we're using these tombstones just to keep in mind of you to know that all of us are going to die. No one is going to live forever. And all of us acquire things, the cars, our home. Even if we live in an apartment, we still acquire things, jewelry, all different kinds of things that we can acquire, but we still should set up our revocable living trust, and don't do it this way, because you can do it. You can set one up, and we're going to give it a cost and the price of setting it up, which is not that much, because Wealth Transfer Alliance can set it up for you on a monthly payment. You pay it, and what I'm saying to you is it's tax deductible because it's a software. What makes a Wealth Transfer Alliance independent business tax write-off? Because you set the business up, costs money. Show you that in a minute. You buy the software, costs money, and the software is for you to run the company. So everything you do is a tax deductible business. I'm going to show you that in just a few minutes. I'm a tax accountant for years now. My probate video is going to show you details as to why you should get off probate. Right up under that, and you're going to see this over and over again on the tombstone that I'm showing, but I'm putting a different picture on the tombstone to show you why you need to have a revocable living trust set up. And I'm putting the definitions down there where you see getoffprobate.net, getoffprobate.info. All this is going to be on the tombstone explaining to you how to do that. And if you call the number, if you visit the website and the phone number at the bottom, it's the CEO of the company showing you in details what you should do in order to maintain what we're talking about. We're going to put this in a video. This is a video, and we're going to put it out throughout the whole nation of the United States. Different kinds of picture on the tombstone. But each one of the pictures is directing you how to get off probate. So the song here was to get off probate. That's what we're talking about. Everything we're talking about in this is to show you how to get off probate and how to enroll as a business building tax shelter advocate. Yes, because once you do what we're talking about, we're going to go through to show you on the United States Internal Revenue form what you need to have and to take off that form, off your bank statements, and we're going to put it on the form. And the form is going to enable you to do what we're telling you in this video. Make sure you continue to watch the video, listen to what's being said, and do it over and over again. Now, here's the tombstone again. You see all the URLs? There are 10 URLs on this tombstone. But each one of the URLs is giving you information about the entire process. So you're getting information, repetitive, over and over and over again. Why? Because we know that you're going to get an understanding, and all you need in order to do this to prosper is to have the understanding how to do so. So you can't leave this video without not having the understanding. We're sure that you're going to get the understanding that we're proposing in this process, and you will go forth from there. Now, we're now getting in ready to go into the technology, the software that the Wealth Transfer Alliance has developed for you, that's over 13 years old, developed by attorneys, two attorneys, and highly paid attorneys from Harvard University. And those attorneys' development of this software has now changed the world. Changed the United States especially, and persons outside of the United States too, because any United States citizens can take advantage of this opportunity. And I'm just saying that. And we have persons all around the world that are citizens of the United States that's living in other countries, but yet still can take advantage of the opportunity that's being presented here. So getoutprobate.net, that's a tool. My probate video is explaining to you what you need to do to not get on probate and get off if you can. Here we go with the software. This is software. Okay, from this point on, for a few minutes, we're going to go through the software. I didn't use my particular software, but at the top it says, welcome to your client center, John. And you see in this, I'm using John and Mary Doe. Well, this is John Doe's software. Step 1 is the interview. Step 2 is the review of the trust. Step 3 is to sign all the documents, have them notarized and authenticated in step 3. Step 4 is very important. It's the most important step that you see. There's only 4 steps. The 5th step is, we're going to show you that in just a minute. But as you see 5, but the 4th step is the 2 and 1. So that's 4 and 5. 4 is 4 and 5 because you're going to have to fund your trust and you have to use the funding kit. All of that in this video. All of that is to be, you're going to see that. I'm just introducing you to now what you're going to see before we move on. And on the left side, we're trying to explain to you the 5 steps. And the 5 steps is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 is 5, 4 and 5. So because the final step is where you're going to upload all of your information, all of the software is going to be uploaded into a virtual vault. You see what I'm saying? It's in the digital vault. And everything in that vault is yours. You have control of it. And no one can go in your vault without your approval. No one can change anything in your vault without your approval. And you can make a change daily to what you have in your vault. It's only because it's your vault. It's your legacy. And you can update it, change it, do whatever you choose to do. So step 4, the funding kit, are the most important steps. You must fund your trust. You must fund your trust. You can't get an attorney or someone else to fund your trust. Why? Because it's personal information. And you don't want the attorneys to have all of your personal information that you have that they could use against you. So you are responsible for funding your trust. Okay, and these are the steps that we're talking about. Now I'm gonna move on and start taking up too much time. Okay, watch this. Step one. On the left side, you see step one. See at the top, it says welcome. Well, all these tabs that you see up under welcome are your information, trust provisions, your children, distribution options, role. All these data is what you're going to go through to set up your trust. This is just step one. But by the time you get through all the steps, your system is already set up. At the top, you're going to continue to see W.T.A. pass play. That's going to take you to understanding. So visit each one of these URLs until you get an understanding of what's being presented. That's over and over again. All these steps is here. Step one, and then it's telling you in detail the wealth transfer alliance technology step one, step through or 5 of the video. And please take the time to watch it over and over until you understand it. And then I put the URL here to show you the 19 short steps that you have. That's another URL for you to show. It's a video, and that video explains to you more information about the process. So all this is all in gear to giving you the understanding that you need in order to get off probate. Now you see a change here. It says getoffprobate.info. That's a different form of video, but it's giving you a video to show you why you don't want to get on probate. Getoffprobate.net, all that, how to enroll. All these data are duplicate. You see how often, I mean, I'm just repeating it, but this is to show the Wealth Transfer Alliance is the company that's going to show you how to set up your legacy years to come. The younger you are, the best it is. And what I'm saying is, if you are in your 20s and you're just getting married, now you definitely want to do this, because by the time you get up into the ages of 60 and 70, you should have a vast estate, and you don't want that in probate. If I go to probate, if you have an estate that's worth, say, $500,000 or more, you don't want that to go to probate, because they're going to take money out of your pocket that you don't have to have it coming out, because all you have to do is take a little initiative and set up the revocable living trust and go on living your life without any problem. Now again, we're using the same thing over and over again, and I'm showing you pictures of different things, of different homes. You see the picture down on the bottom right? That's to give you an idea of what you should think about, what you may have as you go through life. And you don't want that information going down. All the information on the left, you see your information. That's your information. And it's asking you, it's a simple process. You see John Adams Doe? But John Adams Doe is filling out his information. And his wife, she's right up under him, see? So you and your family are going to do the same thing, that this simple process to show you how to set up your estate. It's no rocket science. You can do it in less than an hour. Yep. You and your family can sit down, or you singly, you can do it for less than an hour. The CEO of this company, his mother, up in her 80s, did it in less than an hour. And you can too. But all you got to do is take advantage of the education about software, walks the client through an easy process, an easy step-by-step process. The software does itself. It's fast, can be create documents within an hour. Within an hour. They're telling you the truth. It doesn't take you a long time to finish it. And we're going to get into this process in just a minute to show you the peak, pass, and pay. Now, here I'm showing you this. Is put the picture in your mind. You're 20 years old, 25, 30 years old, just got married, and you're now living in your own condo and apartment. But look, you're going to have a home one day. And this is set up your own revocable living trust now. Let it grow with you. And then by the time, well, you may have 3 or 4 homes this size. We don't know. But we do know that if you have a revocable living trust set up, each one of those title homes will be here. You may have your plane in here. You may have the big, huge transportation system in here. We don't know what your legacy is going to grow to, but what we're saying is protect your legacy. Set up a revocable living trust. That's all this is really all about. Okay. This is to show you the different kinds of things that's in your trust. This is for a different kind of family, disabled, or family with children that are disabled. It's all different kinds of things that's happening in the trust. We'll put the video here to watch the above video, and it's going to explain to you things that you need to know, and other videos as well. That's why we're saying watch the above video. Well, we got other things in here for you to see too. This form will be used as your binding family form or disabled beneficiary that is considered as your special needs sub-trust form. Sub-trust form. See, it's at the top? That's what we're presenting to you to show you different kinds of things that's in this presentation. Look at the organ. You can transfer organs. All this is done in the software. You see down in the organ donation is highlighted. Well, you've now moved through the setup of your revocable living trust. You down that you've already gone through each one of the ones above organ donation. You now down to that. Less time than an hour, you're down there, and now the next is your guardian selection. That's all we're talking about. And once you get down to review, you finish. The hour is over, and you now have your revocable living trust set up, tax deductible information. Now here's something in the detail of the organ. On the other side, we'll put that for your needs. This is tailored for just your need. We keep showing you this information so that you can get an understanding of what we're talking about, and just show you how simple it is for you to do that. Now here is the P.P.P process. This is a form, because we have different kinds of products. The Wealth Transfer Alliance estate planning software, that's a software. That's yours, and you're going to do that as an independent business owner. You want to have that as an independent business owner. Why? Because we're going to show that in a few minutes. As an accountant and as a person setting this up, you're going to put it in your mind that this is a tax deductible business operation that we're talking about. What you see here is that this is the beginning to show you the peak and pass concept. The form Let's Get Started, they are different kinds of products, and we're going to show you that in just a minute. You complete this form, and you see it's not a difficult form for you to know what's on it. It's just asking you for your name, your last name, your phone number, your confirm your phone number, and you then have to put your email in. You have to confirm your email. You put your age in, the state you live in, and the name of the person, advocate, that told you about this process. So you would put my name where it says your name, the advocate name. That's where I would put my name. Up under that, I would put my advocate ID number and additional comments, and then I would just submit this to Wealth Transfer Alliance. That's the peak. I have now passed it to Wealth Transfer Alliance. The only thing that's left now is for you to get paid. You see, I'm the peaker. I'm the passer. You're the one that's going to get paid, because the information on the form is for you, and that's a different kind of product that's being offered that's under the Peak and Pass. Now the estate planning software, it's the Peak and Pass also, but you get more out of it. You get paid 10 ways there. Here, you just wait and you peek this information from the public. You pass it on to Wealth Transfer Alliance, and you get paid over and over and over again each month because of the different kinds of products that we have in this process. And now watch this. This is some of the products. One of the products, Payroll Tax Initiative. Payroll Tax Initiative is for a company that have employees. You got the employee benefits. You got the employer benefits. Number one, you see it and study this. You got the employee benefits. Number two, study this. And then you got the everyone to benefit in this process. So this is a Peak and Pass tool. This is the first tool that I'm showing you how to get paid simply by passing the information on to the Wealth Transfer Alliance. Once you become an independent business building advocate, you're going to pass the information on, and then you're going to get paid month after month after month, because the employer and the employees are getting what they're supposed to get. That you see up there that you get 500 employees, what the FICA tax would be on 500 employees. And there are some companies that got thousands and hundreds of thousands of employees. You see the gift giving, the whole life cash value insurance policy, preventive health and wellness benefits. Well, don't you know what's happening in America today with the health system and how we're losing health insurance? Well, don't you see why it's so important for you to get started with Wealth Transfer Alliance, and so you can get an understanding of the payroll tax initiative and how you're going to get paid every month, month after month after month, because of the payroll tax initiative. The done process is required a little effort from the employer, human resource department, and involves access of health care. Don't you see why you should not pass this up? I'm moving on. I love this is again the education support, online videos, printed guides, email support, glossary of terms. This is to show you now why John and Mary Doe are now reviewing their guide to see how they're going to just close this out now. Because you see, we're now going back through the process for them to review their process. You see, all this is done for you. Yeah, you see the yellow tabs, see the blue tabs, the red tabs, the green tabs on the right side. It's giving you a definition and understanding of what each tab is all about and what you need to do. So all you got to do is just take a little time to set up your own revocable living trust and get paid through the process of what we have with the Peak Pass and Pay. Study each one of the URLs. I put them there repetitively so you cannot miss each one. If you don't get it on the one, you get it on the second. Now here you see all the green check marks on the left side. That means now John and Mary Doe, that's you, because I don't know you personally, you are now reviewing your process. Down at the bottom, you see the blue tab is already checked at the bottom. It's already there. And the next thing you're going to do is review this, and then you're going to click continue down at the bottom, because everything is now green checked. If it wasn't like it's supposed to be, it would be a red, and you couldn't go forward. It won't let you go continue as long as you get a red check. So once you get everything in, if you don't in the first time, you go back and check to see where the mistake is. You doing this yourself, and now you're going to correct that, and it's going to turn green. Now you can go forward to step 2, because now you have reviewed your estate planning, your technology, everything that you want to do is now already done. Now, here's step 3. You're ratifying what's in your estate plan. Now you're going to sign all your documents. You're going to take them to banks and attorneys in different places and have them notarized to make sure that the power of attorney is already set. And you can see this is a power of attorney. Now look, that's also a video. So before you go forth, you watch the video about the power of attorney in this in here, because you don't have to write anything down to study anything like that. What I'm saying is you can watch it on video. And the video tells you step by step what you need to do in order to make sure you've got the power of attorney over the assets. You see power of attorney over assets. Well, the assets is important. I'm an accountant, and I've gotten through here to show you some assets. The power of attorney for the health care. You may have someone in your house that's ill, that needs special care. That's the power of attorney for that person. Living will, advocates and directives, the funding kit, the scheduling and the signing, the vault. You see all these data is here for you, and the tabs, it told you a few minutes ago the definition of each color of the tab. You're now just ratifying what you've already put together. Nothing is done, because now you didn't complete it today, but tomorrow you go back, make your changes, and put it back into your vault. Now, you're funding your trust. You see there are 2 different kinds of assets. You see at the bottom, it's got the real estate as assets, then you got the other assets. And it's the other assets that you're going to have to get involved with it too and know what you're doing. Because the other assets, like them, some of them may have different kinds of titles. You know, a plane is not a real estate, but it has a title. You know, your car is not a real estate, but it has a title. If you know what I'm saying. So your funding kit, online kit, is a unique system that tracks assets funding. Okay. It is your job and not your attorney's job to fund your revocable living trust. You have to do that yourself. Why? You don't want to turn in because you got personal information in your trust that you don't want Lottie, Dottie, and everybody having. Okay, get an understanding. And all at the top, just keep going back to the URLs that you see at the top, and it's going to give you a different understanding of what you need to do. There are on the two kinds of assets in your trust, real estate and other assets. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, I'm showing you this twice, step 4, because step 4, remember, step 4 is 2 steps in one. This is, it gave you 2 different kinds of things that you have in assets. See, the real estate and the other assets. So you got 2 in 1. All right, but the ratio you study and read all the information that you see on here because it's going to give you what we're talking about, understanding. That's all. Now look, these are the real estates and that goes in. Study these data. The types of real estate. Real estate is all in your trust. And it's got all different kinds of assets in your trust. And you're the one that's setting up the trust. We're going to have it notarized. We're going to have it done so that it won't affect you other than a positive way. That's all we're talking about. And you having your legacy so that when you do expire and you got a will, you can also do a will and put your will into your revocable living trust. And if the court wants to see your certified, ratified will, you can give the court the will, and there's nothing the court can do with your will because your will be in your trust. You are the trust, and the court can't do anything because you've already done what the court would do and hold it for 10 or 15 years, take money out of it and spend it on the court. The court's going to take in, according to the statistics that we have, in the neighborhood around 100 plus billions of dollars between now and 2034. And then this process here started in 2023 and it's going to be perfected by 2045. By over 125 trillion dollars will have been distributed to the persons who set up the revocable living trust. We'll recommend that you be one of those persons. Here are the different kinds of assets that we're talking about that you need to know about. Now you see the arrow. I put the arrow here and also the URL for the American Bar Association to show you that this is not something that you should not just not do because it's approved by the American Bar Association. And you want to go through these data to make sure you have your answers. And you see the URL for the American Bar Association, and it's got the group, it's got the estate planning, all that. And you see the little 3 dots. It has drop downs where you can go through the American Bar Association, get all your questions answered. The revocable living trust definition and how it works, what the revocable living trust is. All these data is here for your understanding. And all you want to get is an understanding of that. And this is information that you do when you don't have the withal, where you can go outside of the deed work and get a quick claim deed done real quick. And all this data is explained in the video that you see at the bottom to show you how to do what we're talking about. So it's just a matter of you taking a little time to set up a trust to avoid probate and prevent the probate court from taking all of your assets. You see the DMV information, because there's different criteria for different states with the part of motor vehicle. But your car have a title on it. All your automobiles and planes and all these things have a title. So you want now to make sure that your title of those MBA data is done according to that state that you're in. See, the state of Maryland, where I live, is much different than right across the river in Virginia. Right on the other side, right across in North Carolina. It's a whole different operation because Maryland joins North Carolina and Virginia, you see. But Virginia is different than North Carolina. North Carolina is different than Virginia. Now I'm going to slow down now because now I'm getting ready to show you something that's examples of what you can do with this business as an independent business owner. That's what I'm talking about now. I've been showing you how to set up your legacy, to show you how to set up your revocable living trust. That's the information that's been provided. And we're going to continue with that and through this process. But now I'm going to change the table to just a little. This is a let's get started form. Imagine you having to peek, pass, and pay with the information that you see on the right side. All this is from the peek, pass, and pay. And you see the W.T.A VIP? Make sure you go to W.T.A VIP and get information from the CEO and founder of the company. But all these data here is just an example of what you can have. No selling instead of you wanted to become a peek, pass, and pay marketing system. Peek, the interest of the person, pass the person's interest on off to Wealth Transfer Alliance on this form, and you get paid. You see the kind of monthly income we're talking about? You see, and you're talking about 10,000 people, but we're a nation of over 300 million. If it takes you 10 years to get 10,000, you're still running an independent business, and the business is going year after year after year, but you just keep on adding. You keep on adding. And this is for the corporate benefit. This is for the corporate employee benefit. That's a peek and pass system. The other system that we've been talking about is for you to set up your estate planning. And as an estate planner, you're going to set up the independent business building concept, and you're going to market the estate planning software. Okay, that software is tax deductible for the people that you're marketing it to. And the cost of the independent business startup is also tax deductible for the person that you sharing that with. So it's a win-win for both persons. And on both persons' independent business bank statements are all the data that we're going to be showing you in a few minutes. All right, so we're moving on just to show you why you don't want to pass this information. Stop these data. Go to W.T.A Press Pray. Listen to the video. And then get an understanding. And all you have to do then is see, well, my name is David Richardson, and you call that phone number. I'm going to complete this form for you, and I'm going to send the form to Wealth Transfer Alliance. It's just by clicking down here, because I'm already an advocate and I have my own back office. So all I gotta do is complete the form, you and I, over the phone. We can do it over the phone, but you give me information that's accurate and right, because if you give me something wrong, it's going to affect you. And I don't want to do that. I'm just telling you, nothing in this process is nothing but the truth. We can't handle nothing but the truth. If it's not the truth, it's going to hurt you and me. I don't want to turn anything in that's not true. So when you get with me, make sure that it's accurate, and I'm going to click the button at the bottom, say red, click to submit the form. I'm going to submit it. My peeking is done. My passing is done. Now I'm going to wait until I get paid. You're going to do the same thing. Peek, pass, and pay. Peek, pass, get paid. Don't have to hold nothing in your hand to peek it. You don't have to hold nothing in your hand when you pass it. And you're going to get something in your hand back as a pay. It's going to go directly into your bank account. And then at the end of the year, the bank's going to show you how much money you put into your bank. The bank's going to show you how much money you took out to operate your independent business. Tax deductible, the expenses are. You know what I mean by deductible? You reduce your income, because your income, you see how high your income can be? Well, your business expenses may be 50% of that. I don't know. But you don't know. But if whatever you have is going to reduce the tax that you would have to pay to internal revenue. But it's still a business. And that's all we're talking about, is being a business. Now, here's another process for you to get an understanding of what we're talking about. All right? Try to avoid the death without setting up a revocable trust. You don't want to die without having a revocable living trust. My probate video, it's going to show you in detail Why you want to have a revocable living trust? Because you don't want to expire without it. Now you notice, I hate this. Okay, I want to know, but you know, two young children just lost their life yesterday. They didn't go there. They didn't get up in the morning to do that. Oh, I don't want to do it. I get upset when I do that. All right. So what I'm just recommending is that you get an understanding, and all this is for you to get an understanding, and it's so simple. There's no detail, no rocket science here for you to have. You can listen. Just go to my probate video. Listen. Go to getoutprobate.net. Listen. Listen. That's all you got to do. You got to write nothing down. You just do it. Listen. I'm using Tombstone again just to show you on the Tombstone. This is what you can do. This is an investor's guide for estate planning. The investor's guide for estate planning. That's to give you an idea. You go to the information that you see, and you're going to get that information. And you have that in your repertoire. Now, I am really ready to close this out. This is your last will and testament, and it must be validated if you have a will. And the will that we're talking about is to be put into your revocable living trust. Now the court can't really say anything because you know, they know that it's in your last will testament that you have put into your probate. Watch the video, myprobatevideo.com. Watch the video, getoffprobate.info. Watch the videos. It's going to explain to you what you need to do. Okay. Now I really am in conclusion of this. I don't want to spend more than an hour, but now here again is the opportunity to show you what you and why you want to become an independent business as opposed to being an affiliate. I don't know, and I shouldn't say that, but the company may think that I'm speaking against the affiliate. I'm not. I'm just saying that as an independent business owner myself and an advocate, and I put my advocate ID number on here to show you that I truly am an advocate with the company, and I get paid when I make the things that I've shown you already. And it's showing how many times an advocate can be paid 10 different ways with bonuses. And also, so the picture at the bottom is to show you the discussion that the persons are having with about wealth transfer allowance pay system. And I'm going to now close this out and to show you some of the things that I'm talking about with regard to an advocate's pay. You see the two different monthly incomes on these examples. The one on the left is for the affordable medical benefit. And right up under there, it's got the corporate employee benefit. Both of these is, you see down under the 1,000 persons, you see advocate business building. You see on the left side, on the right side, this is for persons who are building a business. These are not for the affiliates. I'm not using anything in this presentation referencing the affiliates because I am an advocate. And on the right side, I got the estate planning. You see the monthly income from just the estate planning, and that's only with 21 clients. But I have an opportunity to have 121 clients. You see what my income would be if I had that? Are you having that if that were you? This is an example for both of us. This is show you in the example what you can do. Now, to sit on your hand is not fair to you because as long as one is sitting on their hand and their dexterity is on their hand, they can't get their hand from under their dexterity to put food in their mouth. So it's not good to sit on your hands and not do anything because then you can't eat the way you want to and do the things that you want to do. So the estate planning subscription that you see on the right side of this is not a whole lot, but look, I don't know who could not use a monthly income of $8,000. It's quite a bit of income in 1 month. That's still 6-figure income in the year. But look at the income on the left side. That's a little bit more income in the year in that example. But both examples include both the outlay, the income from you doing your independent business and also from P.P.P. because the company has various different kinds of product such as this one here. This is a product of P.P.P. This is called Spirit. Look at their annual income in 23. $6.5 billion is what you can be paid out of this company. You want to get familiar with all of the products. This is just one of the products that we have at Wealth Transfer Alliance. You want to get this in your system. Now, I'm almost at an hour. I don't want to go over an hour with this presentation, so I'm going to conclude it here. This is the Schedule C. This is an example of a Schedule C. This is an example of an independent business. You set up as an independent business owner in this example. This is a Schedule C. Now, there's different kinds of Schedule Cs with different kinds of forms. This is a form Schedule C. You see at the top on the right left, page 1, it says Schedule C Form 1040. Well, this is for Form 1040, not a Form 1065, not a Form 1041, not for any other forms, but in this example, we're talking about you being an independent business owner. In this case, still got up there John and Mary Doe. You can be an independent business owner. All these data on here is just 1, 2, 3, 4, their social security number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But this is just to give you an example of what your Schedule C will look like. And I've gone through it just to give you something. I showed you advertising, and what if you had advertising, what if you had business travel. All these data that you see on this form is to give you an understanding of what you should have on your bank statement. If you travel, have a business travel on your bank statement, then you're going to use or whatever source you use. If you take the money out of the bank to buy the ticket, or you use your debit card, it's going to be on your bank statement. And what's written on your bank statement should be what the expense was at that day. Because today being this day of August in 2025, if I took money out of my bank, I would put it on my bank statement what it was for, if it was for my independent wealth transfer alliance independent business operation. So if I go from Chicago to Milwaukee, or from Alaska to Hawaii, I can, if I'm going for business, I'm going to note that on my bank statement that it was a business trip, and I have all the information, my ticket, my plane, all my information. I can even have the person name that I went to see when I left Alaska and going to Hawaii. I can have that information on my bank statement. And now at the end of the year, I take my bank statement and I prepare my business expenses off of my bank statement, put them on my Schedule C. And at the top up there, I had all that in big green example. Those are my incomes. And in different kinds of income. I got W-2 up there, but in that category, it'll be a 1099 because Wealth Transfer Alliance is not going to issue you a W-2. They're going to issue you a 1099, and most likely this is going to be a 1099 NHC. And that's going to show, it may not be MSC, but it's going to be a Form 1099. And that's going to be on your bank statement. You're going to take off of your bank statement all the income that Wealth Transfer Alliance paid you and put it up there in Part 1. Part 2 is going to be your expenses. Part 3 is your cost of goods sold, and you can have cost of goods sold. Part 4 is your information of your vehicles and things like that. And Part 5 is for your other expenses. So there's only 5 parts to the Schedule C. But each one of these 5 parts, it could be notarized on your bank statement, income and expenses. That's in the conclusion of this. And you're operating as an independent business owner. Go to WTA-enrollmentform.com. You see it throughout this presentation. Enroll as an independent business, and the company will let all persons who are responsible to know that you're an independent business owner. And for 2025, you can start your business today in August, but all of the expenses that you incurred from January up until today is August, you're going to put that on your 2025 tax return because you didn't start the business in January 1st of 2025. You started it in August of 2025. But the business expenses is for the whole year. And your bank statements have all of those expenses on it. Your bank statement have all of the income that you receive outside of Wealth Transfer Alliance and all of the income that you receive from Wealth Transfer Alliance will be on your bank statement. Your bank statement is your best witness for this form. It has income and expenses. I'm going to conclude it. Now, hour is up and I am finished. Have a good day. I love you, but God loves you more.